This is the I-55 Jefferson County orientation, presentation, and quiz, and must be completed to work on the project. The presentation will cover some expectations when working on a KCI project. The main office is located on 1021 Airport Road, Festus, Missouri, 63028. The first topic we will be covering is PPE. It is expected that you're wearing a hard hat, safety glasses with side shields, closed-toed work boots, shirt with sleeves, and high visibility clothing. During the day, the requirement for high visibility vest is a Class 2 vest, and at night, it must be a Class 3 vest with sleeves. Working from heights. When working from heights more than 6 feet, employees need to be 100% tied off. Each exposed employee must have a full body harness that is visually inspected daily prior to use, ensuring that it is in proper working condition. Before the use of fall protection systems, all efforts should be made to engineer out the hazard. Ladder safety. Whenever possible, avoid working from ladders. Substitute a stable work platform or a scaffold that is fully decked with a complete guardrail system. Inspect each ladder prior to use. Always maintain 3 points of contact on the ladder. 3 points of contact can mean 2 feet in one hand on the ladder. Ladders must be at least 3 feet above the top platform and fixed to a stable surface. Cutoff saw and grinders. When using a cutoff saw or a grinder, each piece of equipment must have all manufacturer's attachment on the equipment. A bionic face shield over safety glasses must be worn when either of these are in operation. Silica exposures. Any concrete dust exposure on the project must have engineering controls in place to minimize exposure. Examples: vacuum and water. Activities include machine demolition, jackhammering, saw cutting. KCI bases all silica standards off of Table 1. Work permits. Permits must be filled out when performing a high-risk activity such as a confined space, critical pick, excavation over 5 feet, and any demolition activity. A detailed safe work plan must be reviewed and approved by the KCI site safety representative before any high-risk activity work begins. Confined space and excavations over 5 feet must have a permit filled out and available daily for review, unless specifically stated on the permit prior to starting work. Safety training requirements. Any employee working in a high hazard environment must have a designated competent person with proof of training provided before any work can be completed. Any employee running equipment must have proof of training available upon request. Any field employee must have a OSHA 10 minimum to work on site. All foreman level employees must have an OSHA 30 minimum. Work areas. Barricading must be in place around work areas as needed to protect others from inadvertently exposing themselves to hazards. Work areas that create hazards such as falls, overhead work, or struck by hazards. These barricades include cones, trim lines, caution tape, and hazard signage. Overhead power. Any location that has overhead power line exposure within 20 feet where work is being conducted needs to have warning signs, paint markings on the ground, and a spotter if equipment is passing under. The paint markings need to be in red on the ground 15 feet away from the overhead power lines. Parking. Pull into the work zone and either reverse or pull forward until protected by hard barrier. Keep heavy equipment and machinery away from wall openings. If equipment breaks down in or around an opening, call Kenny Recar or Brendan Rickenbaugh. Proper barricading for equipment will be put in place to be worked on. Parking on the cloverleaf needs to be down in the ramp and not on the shoulder of the cloverleaf. Permitted parking on the shoulder will be behind a crash attenuator truck, hard barrier, or a flagging operation will be behind excessive trim line. Entering the work zone. Anticipate your exit well in advance. Be sure to signal your intent with proper lighting, turn signals, and/or hazards with plenty of time before exiting. Allow travel speed in advance of exiting the roadway. Abrupt maneuvers pose risks to yourselves and other drivers. Avoid leaving during high volume traffic times such as morning rush hour, afternoon rush, and lunch. Never assume other vehicles know your intentions to exit into the work zone. Exiting the work zone. Drivers must adhere to designated entry points yielding to oncoming traffic, merging smoothly to maintain flow. Make sure other construction vehicles are not entering the same time as you are exiting the work zone. While getting up to speed, another employee may be trying to decelerate and enter. All vehicle lighting must be on for visibility. Roof hazards, and blinkers. After watching the orientation presentation, please take the quiz by scanning the QR code provided to the right. You will need to download it and open it in your downloads, and will need to be emailed to brickenball@kciconstruction.com. Once you have completed the quiz with 100% score, you can get a site-specific safety sticker from Brennan Rickenbaugh, the site safety representative, or from Evan Lusader, the quality control manager from the office on 1021 Airport Road, Festus, Missouri 63028.